Hey everyone, it's Rustabout Collector here, and after far too many years, the Vintage Collection finally has Bad Batch Crosshair as part of its lineup. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about this figure, and I'm very pleased to add it to the collection. But yeah, it has just been way too long to wait for this figure since we, first of all, had the Bad Batch show come out, and then second of all, had Bad Batch Hunter come out in the Vintage Collection. They have basically drip-fed these characters to us, even though all the while the Black Series has had this team as well as the Season 2 appearance for the same amount of time. Let's start things off where we normally do with the card back, and yeah, I kind of ripped the bubble off of this one, but it's because I really didn't care about this card back. I got this in from Amazon, and I tell you, I've actually straightened this card out. It was like this when I got it, and it was inside of a box that was larger than this whole card back, so it really should have been fine, but apparently the worker that day decided that he was going to take out some anger on my card specifically, so I really didn't care. I was just like, you know what? For once, let's open it like it's Christmas morning and get a look at the figure. I'll probably get another one of these, keep it carded. Crosshair is definitely my favorite of the Bad Batch characters, and so having one on card would be kind of nice. This figure is very nicely done, and honestly, it really just feels like a bit of a downscale of the Black Series version, which is fine with me. If they have the existing sculpts and they're good enough in the Black Series, then they're good enough for me on the Vintage Collection. For his accessories, he has the little DC-17 pistol on his hip, still way too small for any action figure. I just cannot stand how small those are and how many I have probably already lost, but that is included for his hip holster, and then you also have the removable backpack that just slots in there like so. And it has a position here for his blaster rifle, which of course is also included. This is very nicely done. It's just sculpted, no paint weathering, nothing like that, but it is a nice blaster, and it does come apart at the middle there, so you can, if you want to, have it stowed on the back like that. The barrel can just peg into the side, and then it stows away for storage, or if you want to pose him maybe with his DC-17 pistol. There's a lot of options there, but that's always nice that they actually have that as show accurate as possible. On his helmet you have the little flip down visor, which I think is a really great detail, and one thing that I definitely appreciate is that the head is swappable. So instead of having a bucket that goes over top of the head sculpt, you have a removable helmet allowing the head to just pop on after it, and it just looks so much better in terms of scale. And I gotta say, this is a very good likeness for a like semi-realistic Crosshair. They have a little bit of that Tamora Morrison mixed in there, they got the skin tone better, and then of course they have that nice target across the eye there. All in all, it looks pretty great, especially at this scale. I love that look that he's got a very good scowl. And at this scale, it's just really impressive what they can do with the face printing tech. So I'm grateful for that, but I gotta say, his look is just so iconic with the helmet, and I think that that will be how I display him 99% of the time. So overall, this figure looks really great. They have a lot of great paint deco here. You know, he's got the gray and the dark gray and the red all over. He has a darker gray backpack, which I believe is a little bit more accurate than what Black Series gave us. He's got the red stripes. He's got the 99 with the little skull there on the shoulder. The shoulder pads are those floating ones that we've seen with other clone troopers, so it allows for a much wider range of motion, and of course that's all the same that we've seen before. There's nothing new with articulation, so I don't really feel like it needs to be gone over all that much. More paint deco down to the legs, across the shins, across the knee pads, and yeah, this figure looks really nice. The only thing that I really have to gripe about with this figure is, where is the paint deco on his shoulder pad here and around his eye? He should have a white little crosshair marking around his helmet there, as well as a red stripe across this like bandolier, and yeah, you could even paint those little blaster cells there on his strap. You can see it all very clearly here on the card back. He's got the white crosshair around his helmet, the red marking on his chest plate there, and then the silver on those little blaster bolts. I really like this figure overall, but it just seems like those are really weird areas to kind of skimp on the paint apps. I get that maybe this figure is a more paint heavy figure just in terms of design quality and all of that, but it just seems like that's where you wouldn't skimp on the paint. Maybe don't put the red hit on the backpack there and instead put the red hit on the shoulder pad or even the white hit around the eye there. Sadly though, to some extent, it's kind of par for the course. The Black Series Crosshair was also missing the markings around the helmet, although they did get the chest rig and the red markings there really nicely painted. So in that small area, the Black Series definitely has won out a little bit. But yeah, you can see here they matched the backpack differently in the Black Series compared to the Vintage Collection. I definitely think that the darker gray color is more accurate, and they actually carried that dark gray all the way around the back here, whereas on the Black Series figure, it stops about halfway around the torso. So, you know, they both have some pros and cons to them. It's definitely interesting to see the different choices being made with them. But again, this is my favorite character, so I definitely have to have all of them. I'm not going to skimp out on getting just one or the other. And honestly, right now, I've been debating how I can maybe possibly get a Hot Toys Crosshair. The price for him is so high right now, I doubt that that will be possible, but I'm going to try. Maybe it means trading in some old collectibles at a comic shop or something, but we will see. I just think that he's such an iconic character. His design is so good, and I kind of want him in the Black Series and the Vintage Collection and Hot Toys. Despite the vast time between this figure and this figure, they do look really nice together, and it's nice to have at least part of Bad Batch together again. We really need the rest of the team, Hasbro. I mean, we really need a Wrecker as maybe a deluxe figure, and then give us Echo and Tech and Omega. Give us all of them. Maybe just do like a multi-pack, or give us the shuttle as a vehicle. That's not going to happen, but I mean, I just don't get it, man. I don't really understand how the Black Series was able to give us 2 seasons worth of designs, and we only got Hunter. But then we also got finally Crosshair, and I'm really glad that we got them, but we have gotten really no other designs from the show. Whereas, again, in Black Series, we've got Hunter, we've got the Commandos, we've got Scorch, we've got some of the other characters too. I'm trying to remember now, but they've basically given us a vast majority of the main cast that we need from the Bad Batch. At the very least, they gave us the team, and we can supplement the rest later, but honestly, I don't understand why the Vintage Collection has neglected this team so much. I love the Bad Batch. I don't love it as much as Clone Wars, but I certainly do enjoy it, and I just want it in 3 3/4 inch. Crosshair really is just a redeco of Hunter, and that's exactly what I expected, right down to even having a hole in his wrist there for the blade that Hunter has attached there. And so it's really surprising that they went to all the trouble of tooling this figure here with his oversized helmet. That's one of my gripes with this figure. The helmet's too big, and I'm really glad that they switched to the swappable helmet here. But they tooled this whole figure, and they have not gotten its worth out of it yet. I don't understand why, because in Black Series, we've gotten Delta Squad, we've gotten 2 other commandos, just plain Republic commandos and the Battlefront Commando, and then we've gotten the full Bad Batch team. And so, twice, actually. And so, I don't understand what Vintage Collection is doing. I wish that they would speed things along, but realistically, we're not going to see the rest of this team for probably several years at this rate. Despite the long wait in getting this figure though, it is really nice, and I'm really glad that we do finally have Crosshair in the Vintage Collection. Again, the articulation's good, the paint apps are crisp and clean, even though we're missing some, and the figure just as a base body is really solid. I love the new helmet sculpt that they've given us. I love that it is just a swappable head with a really nice swappable face print there, and I think the fact that this figure sold out on Hasbro Pulse shows that there is a demand for this figure. People want Crosshair, people want the rest of Bad Batch, and it's now just up to Hasbro to, I don't know, give us what we want. I know the toy industry is not what it used to be, and shows are not what they used to be. This isn't 2008 anymore. The Clone Wars isn't on TV with the most hype any Star Wars TV show has ever had, but still, it's just shocking that we got those figures in Black Series and not in Vintage Collection after probably almost 5 years. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been a while, and it's still going to take a while to get the rest of the team. So I'm really excited that we have what we have. I just wish we would get more sooner rather than later. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you all so much for watching these reviews and my hot takes about toys for what it's worth. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, noon, or night, depending on when you watch this video, of course. And as always, I'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.